this throw, when I first saw a tweet, somebody said 82 yards. This dude's standing on his own 6, throws it to the other 10 or whatever the case is. Then I found out, wait, there's no 50-yard line. There's no 40s. Yeah, we had 10, 20, 30, 30, 20, 10. Yeah, it's not, some people watch that video, they're like, that guy's throwing for the 5, the other 10. Yeah. Holy shit, which is definitely worthy of the convo. I think it's like 54 yards rolling across your body fadeaway, which is still a dime. Yeah. Absolute dime. And he had a lot of time to get it there.
Hey. Whoa. What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Plenty of time. Up there.
What are you saying?
We've talked about this off air here this morning. Restrepo's people should have been doing everything they possibly could to either get a false narrative out there about an injury of some sort, or just say, let them just watch the film. Don't just let them watch the film. Don't need the run. Yeah. Even in the pro day there, look good, great catch, have a couple sideline things. Allegedly, this guy ran 4.8 and a 4.76 or something, 4.72 or something like that. And then that led to a tweet, obviously, from he and many others going, it's not about how fast you run on track. This is football. Come on. This is football. We looked it up. It is football. There's not a lot of wide receivers in the NFL that are running 4.8s that are going to get open. Now, with that being said, this guy's the all-time leading receiver in the history of the University of Miami. University of Miami has a lot of history. You start rattling through the names of the wide receivers that have played at Miami. You think to yourself, wow, this is amazing. This guy has the most yards out of any of them. And obviously he was a massive piece of this Miami team last year. He and Cam Ward were spectacular. And obviously, whenever you're able to find holes in defenses, that is certainly something that is an upside for a wide receiver. 4.8, though, at a pro day. Because, at the pro day, they can even get the numbers out a little bit faster because there's scattered stopwatches.
That's tough.
That's tough. I didn't like seeing that at all because I love watching him play football. Awesome. And now I think to myself, somebody's going to get him in. Hopefully somebody brings him into a building. They will. And when he gets into the building, hopefully his football speed is still what we saw whenever he was at college. Because in the NFL, the third corner, so a lot of people are saying put him at slot. Those guys are getting paid now like 25, 30 million.
They're pretty good.
And those guys, if you can get open and run good routes, so can they. They can as well. Yeah, and they're saying he's more quick than fast. How much should we look into a 4.8 40, potentially 4.7 something 40 at a wide receiver position? And what are your thoughts about what he's going to be at the NFL? And can he play at the NFL at that speed?
I mean, thoughts number one on Restrepo, being a South Florida kid, it's kind of like how Queen said, when you have that confidence when you leave South Florida as a football player, just like he does from Baltimore to DMV. Hey, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. Thrived in South Florida as a high schooler. Obviously thrived at UM to break all those records. So we know without a doubt this kid can play football at a high level. Now, it's a crapshoot when you go into the draft, and all the evaluators, the decision makers, they take this into consideration, the measurables. So running a 4.8 and not being a big guy definitely doesn't help, the process for him. So he definitely lost some money, I would say. We always say, hey, people earn some money. Golden going to the combine running a 4.2. People didn't expect that. Had great tape. He definitely made some money. So I would say he lost some money on the front end. But if he gets into a building, which I think he still will get drafted, I think he'll still have an opportunity. And I think, honestly, he'll still make plays. I really believe in guys that are productive on every level. If they get to the next level, they're going to continue to be productive. But it is important for him to get in the right system, because the thing about the NFL, your windows, you get them, but they close really, really quickly, especially when you're not fast. So being able to get open and have a quarterback that can put the ball right on him, he can definitely be successful in the next level.
Good luck, brother. Go get it. Pulling for you. We have, there's been some other, slower 40 times documented during the draft cycle. Hunter Renfrow, 4.59. Now, once again, it's not a 4.8.
That's not.
Larry Fitzgerald, 4.63. Once again, not a 4.8, but Larry Fitzgerald played like 14 years. And
6'4", 220.
Monster, man. Yeah. Keenan Allen, 4.71. Now, this came after he tore his PCL, I believe, during the season. So they're saying he wasn't fully healthy whenever he ran his 4.71. And Jarvis Landry is the easiest comp everybody was making because he ran a 4.77 at the combine. I guess he got hurt during that. And then his pro day, he would follow up and run a 4.51. So it's like, seeing a 4.8 number is not normal. Like, that is not something that is normal, but also what Restrepo was able to do at Miami was not normal either. Maybe the football just kind of does its thing for him, and I'm pulling for him.
He's a football player, and I love the part of him that is the competitor. That, hey, I'm going to go out here and compete. I'm going to go out here and run this time. Whatever it is, I'm going to go and run it. I'm going to do it. If I was his representative, if I was his big brother, if I was his little brother, mom, dad, Don't go out there and put a 4.7, 4.8 on wax. You just don't do it. Let them assume. Sometimes you just don't run. Hey, tweak the hammy. Tweak to something, something that we expect to recover in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that needs to get out
there. Put the tape on. Put the damn tape on. Watch number 7 play. We know he can play football.
Sorry, I can't. I can do routes with Cam. I don't think I'll be able to.
About it.
The explosion to get out there. I got a little bit of a tight, this thing out here, this
IT band.
The IT band. A little bit. I don't know if I'm able to do that today. If I run, it's going to be slow.
Yeah.
It's going to be slow. I won't do that. Obviously, you guys don't want me to do that because the amount of plays he made, absurd. Yes. But this comes into the full combine draft process now. Slow 40s are talked about. Very fast 40s talked about.
Yeah.
Very slow 40s talked about. If you just run like in the window, not a conversation, just kind of keep it moving. Like somebody said, we don't even remember who the guy was said he was going to break the record at the combine, right? No, because he ran an okay one. He ran like a 4.4 instead of a 4.2 something, but it's like he's in the window. He's good. There it is, Isaiah Bond, the Texas guy. Golden ends up running the fast one too. They were saying they were going to get 4.2 or whatever. They didn't, but they ran in the window, so not a conversation anymore. If you don't hit the window, it's like conversation all of a sudden by people that don't matter. Like we don't matter. People on the internet don't matter. If somebody thinks he can make plays, bring him into a building.
One team.
He's going to have the opportunity to do that. We're pulling for him.
Yeah, another one that kind of popped up was Welker, and he ran a 4.65, and obviously Wes Welker, everyone, he's one of the most successful slot guys ever, you could argue. But for Restrepo, you're talking about systems, like maybe this was planned. Maybe he said, you know what? Tennessee Titans, who am I the best wide receiver with? Cam Ward. So if I just run super slow, I'll go undrafted, and then guess where I'm going? I'm going to Tennessee to play with my best friend Cam Ward, my brother, who we won a lot of games with at Miami. You never know. Maybe that's the case. Okay. And if it is one of those situations, maybe Cam Ward also said to Borgonzi and the boys, like, "Hey, Restrepo's going to run like shit today, so you guys are going to be able to get him in the 6th, 7th round if you want."
There is a chance too, with the way we've seen that indoor field built. Maybe their 40 is actually 41.5 yards. It might be a little bit longer because it's 10, 20, 30, 30, 20, 10. Maybe the individual yardage is a little bit longer as well.